Hello everybody, Hito here and welcome back to another Infinity Nikki video. In this video, I am going to talk about a few things I personally wish were in the game. Those things include optimizations, more game modes, and also changes to our wardrobe. Before we jump into the video, it would mean a lot if you left a like and a comment under my video and subscribe to my channel for more Infinity Nikki content. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. Now, first of all, I would like to heavily empathize that I am very well aware that this game hasn't even been out for half a year yet. Still, there are a few things that I wish were in the game, especially considering that most of these things should be easily accessible from the very start. A few of the things are also things that could be implemented in the future. Basically, none of these things I am going to list here are crazy requests such as give us more story, give us more in-game rewards, like give us 10,000 points every verse. I'm not doing that. It's just very simple things like optimizations and stuff. That being said, the very first thing on the list might actually be asking a little much, but I still want to throw it out there, and that is more accessibility. Because in case you didn't notice, this game is only available on PC, mobile devices, and PlayStation 5. Now, with the PlayStation part, I can understand that the PS4 is extremely outdated and probably could not run the game. I remember playing Genshin Impact on the PS4 when it first released, and when I finally made a switch to PC or even PS5, it was insane. So I can definitely understand why Infinity Nikki is just not accessible on older consoles. Now, that being said, I do not understand why this game isn't accessible on the other big two, that being Xbox and the Switch. Going back to the PlayStation example, of course the Switch is extremely outdated for these kinds of games, also being one of the reasons why games like Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail probably did not make it to that console, even though they were originally meant to. But with the Nintendo Switch 2 coming out later this year, probably around summer, which we will know after the Direct happening later this month, there might be hope of this game making it to arguably the most affordable console on the market. And yes, of course, everybody probably owns a phone, but I am going to personally say that not every phone is going to be able to comfortably run the game, let alone have a good experience for the player. In my opinion, mobile is the worst experience to experience an RPG like this. Therefore, in my book, it does not count as the most accessible way to play the game. Looking at literally any of the other consoles, you are looking at a serious investment. Of course, the Switch is also a serious investment, but it is the most affordable one of the bunch. Now, aside the Switch, the Xbox is also an option. And my genuine question is, why is this game not on Xbox? There could be a lot of reasons, one of them including the fact that Xbox or Microsoft is technically available on PC. The Xbox doesn't have anything going for it, it has no exclusives, everything is available across other platforms, and the console doesn't exactly outperform the PlayStation. They're both pretty much at the same level, and the PlayStation just has a lot more games in its library that are exclusive, therefore prompting players a lot more. Another reason I could imagine that this game just isn't on Xbox is the fact that Microsoft really wants a share. In case you didn't know, Genshin Impact on the PlayStation is more expensive in terms of in-game purchases. That is due to the distribution that Sony wants. With that being considered, it is very much possible that Microsoft has the same expectation from Infold, and the share that they want is probably extremely excessive and would increase the in-game purchases by a lot. I really can't imagine any other reasons behind this, simply because the console is extremely up to date and it can easily run games like Infinity Nikki. Now from here on out, I will be putting the next points into sort of categories. I'm not really sure how to categorize them, but it helps keeping everything a bit more together. Now, the first actual category is called more game modes. The first thing, multiplayer. As far as I remember, during the second beta, Infold very explicitly said that multiplayer will become accessible upon release. This feature has obviously been pushed back, and to when, we don't know. The feature hasn't been talked about ever again. It has been completely disregarded, and I genuinely want to know why. Now, if we are not going to be able to actually adventure with other players together, I would still really like a few other options that have to do with multiplayer, because genuinely, what is the point of having in-game friends if you can't do anything but view their profile and chat with them? A few of the things that would be really fun to have implemented multiplayer in is, for example, let us play minigames. If you guys played Animal Crossing New Leaf, you might remember Turtles Island, on which you could play together with other people. The way it would work is that it is being hosted by one player, other players can join, and then everybody can play minigames together. That would be a very good way to slowly implement the multiplayer element to the game, because seeing that they are doing kind of something similar with the dying feature, in which they don't exactly push it out immediately, but rather let us slowly explore the feature, it would work really well. It would test the bandwidth of the servers and also finally let us interact with our friends in the game. Once the housing update is released, it would also be extremely cool if we could visit each other's house, kind of like the Serenity Pod in Genshin Impact. This feature doesn't exactly have to be that the other player must be hosting in that area. We can just simply visit even while they're offline, just for the inspiration and stuff like that. And also, again, loading in other people's progress, because that is going to be an essential thing when we get multiplayer, if we are to ever get it. Now, another thing I've been thinking about that would be kind of fun, but it would become a serious issue at one point, is having style challenges against other players. Now, in itself, it sounds very, very fun, but if we go with the way the current state of the game uses style challenges, this would be an extremely pay-to-win feature in the game. So maybe instead of that, it could be like Dress to Impress, where it's a lobby of a certain amount of people, and then there's a general theme. 2 people go against each other, and the players vote who is more on theme. Another feature that has actually been talked about a lot, and that has been making a lot of course in terms of leaks and when is it going to happen, is the house update. It is probably extremely close to being released, but since we don't have any info about the release date or what it's going to be like, I'm putting it on this list because why are we still waiting on this update? It can't be this long, please unfold. Like I've said in a lot of previous videos and on my streams, I still believe that we are getting this feature before we go to the bigger parts of the Heartcraft Kingdom in 1.5. Simply because I do not see how it would be effective to bring us into a much larger region to explore, but then also giving us where Nikki's house is going to be, where we also have to build, we have to explore. It would be extremely ineffective, so the only possible point I see for the house update right now is 1.4 or way later, right before we get into the version 2. Another thing I would really like to be implemented in this game, and this one actually I randomly came up with my chat during a stream, is having a mini job for Nikki. If you guys have played Style Boutique on a DS, you might know what I'm talking about. Basically, Nikki gets a part-time job, maybe a little boutique like Marcus Jr., and NPCs come in, request help with styling, and we can do that for them. It would also give us a lot more fun to play dress up. It is a dress up game, but with other characters. How would I dress person X? How would I dress this person? Because the people would also have requirements. They might be, oh, I want to go on a picnic. I want to go hiking. With these certain requirements, it would become a lot more challenging and also a lot more fun. Now, the next category I simply called small things because they're just a few small things here and there that I would like to see in the game, but I couldn't really categorize them anywhere specifically. And the first one is emotes. For some reason, we can use the Infinity Nikki emotes everywhere. In their Discord server, we're allowed to download and use them ourselves. Why can't we use them in the game? Why can we not use them when chatting with other players? I just want to send a Momo thumbs up. This should not be such a big dream for the game. Please make this possible. Another thing is, if we aren't getting multiplayer, at least let us befriend people from other servers. We can't play with anybody anyways. We can merely chat with other people. So why region lock us? Maybe this is something that I don't understand. Maybe there is a very simple explanation for it, but I don't understand. Another thing that I would really like to see, and that I know a lot of other people have been talking about, is more diversity in Nikki's skin tones. Right now, we only have 3, and before anybody gets angry, yes, the fact that we do have the option of diversity is really, 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 really cool. Infold is very considerate for that, and I know a lot of people are very appreciative of that. But there are also people who are still a bit sad about it because there are only 3 skin options and there are way, way more skin tones in the world. I am pretty sure that Infold will slowly implement more over time, and I know a lot of people would also extremely appreciate that. Another thing that I have talked about in my Twitch chat is more tracker options, very specifically for chests and dues. So far, we can use Momo to track our Whim Stars or Whim Balloons, but when we want to find chests or dues, we are on our own. Now, we have in a very, very old trailer seen that there's a detective outfit for Nikki with which she might be able to track the dues. But then I had the thought of, why does it have to be Nikki? Why can't we just change Momo's tracking ability to what we want? Momo gets his own codes anyways, so giving a few of them a ability would make a lot of sense. Now, of course, we also have the official Infinity Nikki map tracker, but honestly, not everybody is going to have access to it, and it's still not very directly leading you to where you have to go, unlike if you were using Momo's tracker, where it shows you the exact location. Another thing that was brought up during a stream was friendship with NPCs that rewards you with clothing items after hitting a certain bond level with them. There are so many NPCs in Mirrorland, a lot of them also very stylish, so why not make it possible to give us something that makes us bond with them and lets us also get their clothing items. Another thing that really surprised me when I started playing the game is that we don't have a region reputation, kind of like we do in Genshin. Region reputation quests could be done weekly, like in the other game, and also reward you greatly. These would also add more options for Infold to bring players back more consistently, as there are more goals to aspire. The last thing in this category is something that randomly came to me, is why can we not favorite our favorite items? Just let us press a little button next to our favorite clothing items, give us a separate window, and we can just go through our favorite pieces that we might want to select on a whim. So we don't have to search the entire screen of dresses for that one dress, because sometimes it is genuinely a bit hard. Now, the final category I've kept for last because this is the biggest one. It is the outfit and dress up category. This is a dress up game, and there are a few features that I wish were implemented or a few things that were fixed. First of all, I know we've just got more outfit slots, but I still would like a few more. I have to be honest, when they announced we're getting 7, I really believed we would get 10. I might be extremely greedy for wanting that, but I really think that we should have at least 10 outfit slots. Considering it has been roughly 4 months and we already got more outfit slots, I am very certain we are going to get more in the future. Maybe they will also find a way to let us have a lot more than 10 in a way that we can categorize or whatever. But that is obviously for the future. And for now, I am very grateful for 7 slots. It is better than 4. 10 would have still been great though, I have to be honest. The next thing is something that irritated me a lot. If you go into pretty much any dress-up game, you can search your clothes by categories. And we can do that here too, but not by things such as color or pattern. You can sort your Eurekas by color, but you can't do the same for your outfits. Now, I know that a lot of the outfits have multiple colors, but there is a thing such as primary colors. It would make sorting a lot easier and also just finding your favorite outfit piece or a certain outfit piece you're looking for. Another thing that I know a lot of players want fixed because it is a nightmare is the accessory screen. If you play on PC, you may know that scrolling through the accessory UI is a nightmare. The UI keeps glitching out, makes you switch through the entire category, and you're suddenly looking at your boots. And I am well aware that you can use directional keys to navigate it, but that just should not be a thing. I would genuinely like if we could just use the scroll wheel while hovering the UI. I don't know why we have to use the mouse keys to do so. I would love this to be fixed. I genuinely do. Another thing that I know people really want fixed, because it's annoying and it really limits us in styling, is clothing pieces and hair clipping through each other. Very, very big example for this is the veils. If you have any hairstyle that is long and wavy, I can guarantee you the strands of the hair will clip through. I know it is very, very hard to implement that the pieces work together in the first place, that they sit on top of each other, etc. But I would genuinely like if they, in the future, made adjustments where clothing pieces actually adjust to physics of other pieces. It really, really ruins a few outfit ideas that people have because there's no way of removing the clipped through piece, aside from obviously just not wearing it. Now, the next two things are outfit categories that I personally would actually really, really love. First of all, belts. Just belts. We have pretty much everything else that we can wear on our body. We have every piece of accessory that we could think about. We just don't have any belts. And that might be because a few dresses, skirts, and jeans, or bottoms in general, do come with belts, but some of them don't. And some of them I would like to not have a belt instead, or some of them I would like to have a belt. I would like to just add it in general. Even to a dress, sometimes that is what would make the look really look great. And the other thing that would be extra for the makeup section probably is nail polish. We basically have all the other makeup options. We're literally just lacking nail polish. And nail polish could also be a very fun feature, like letting us create our own nail sets. Another thing that would really, really help rounding up outfits is deciding if a top is tucked into the bottoms or not. Because there are a few shirts, especially t-shirts, that I would love to wear, but the fact that they are oversized and are draped pretty much up until Nikki's knees is annoying me. I would love to tuck those into her pants or have them be shortened or something. I genuinely think this is a feature that a lot of people would appreciate simply because there are so many oversized tops. And I know people don't wear them as much because there's no option to not have them be oversized. And the final thing that I really want in the game is more Surprise-o-matic outfits. So far, we have one Surprise-o-matic, and it features technically 2 different sets of 5-star pieces. The Surprise-o-matic outfits are the one gamble part of the game that can be done free to play as it uses your bling. Now, I have personally finished everything from the Surprise-o-matic, so I don't have any reason to pull for it, but for the shiny bubbles, I technically do need to, because otherwise I have to spend my crystals in limited or permanent banners. So to give people more of a reason to keep going back to the Surprise-o-matic to actually farm for materials they need, especially for evolving outfits, we need more different pieces in those. Now, it would be really easily solved if we have a Surprise-o-matic in every big region. So if we go to the big part of the Hardcraft Kingdom and go into the main city, we may find a new Surprise-o-matic featuring new sets. And that sums up everything that I think we need in Infinity Nikki. Now, keep in mind that I have been collecting these things for the past month or two, A few of the things were scrapped because they finally were implemented or got optimized, and there will probably be a lot more things coming up as the game progresses, because I sure know that I could have said a lot about what we need in the housing update, but since we just simply don't know what it's going to be like when the base releases, I'm not going to say much about the features I wish it had. But yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below what you think we should have. Remember that this is what is actually possible. Nothing that is a big game changer, just optimizations, small features, things that would make you want to come back into the game a lot more. Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good day, everybody. Bye bye.